They do their pre-show section, they get the smoke ready before their arrival. However, please put your hands together for the 2023. It's the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows! The team arriving in wall formation. That's a formation which is approximately 200 to 300 feet from left wing to right wingtip. As Tom brings the formation around to the left, that's indicating to me he's taking the show rolling. You can see now the team starting to collapse into formation known as 8 Arrow. Leading the team this year in his third and final year is Red One, that's squadron leader Tom Bold. He's previously flown the Typhoon. He's also been in the team in 2014 to 16 where he was the Synchro leader. As I said, he's flown Typhoon operationally. He's also a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II and Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. The smoke comes on for the 8 Arrow presents. However, keep your eye on the formation as they conduct a dynamic shape change. As Red 7 and 8 perform a rollback and change the shape from 8 Arrow into Vixen. As the team now move to the right, you can see all 8 aircraft in the formation. Clearly we are usually a 9 and we would be in a Diamond 9 formation or trademark formation if 9 was there at the back. However, for 2023 we are only displaying as an 8. And that's simply because we cannot train more than 3 new pilots each year due to safety and supervision. And it's simple that the maths just didn't work out to build the formation up to a 9 this year. However, next year is our 60th anniversary. It's our own Diamond Jubilee, so we hope to be back at our 9. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. Here comes the Vixen roll. On the right-hand side of Red 1 is Red 2. That's Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker. Rich is in his first year on the team. He's a very highly experienced and competent pilot. He's flown operations on both the Harrier and the Typhoon. He's also been a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II. As I said, there are 8 pilots in the display, and there's also myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, and also former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II. And we are a military unit, and of course we are commanded by Wing Commander Adam Collins, who is also with me here today at Datum in Eastbourne. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he's also flown the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force, and he also flew the Hawk T Mark I in the aggressor role with 100 Squadron. The smoke goes on from Reds 4 and 5 now as they've made their way all the way back to the rear of the formation. Those familiar with the Red Arrows will know that this is what the Apollo formation. The first of our space-themed shapes as Red 1 starts to bring the formation around to the left for the Apollo present. On the left-hand side of Red 1 is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Tom Hansford. Tom is also in his first year on the team, a former Typhoon pilot and also qualified weapons instructor on the Typhoon, where he would teach weapon technical information and tactics to the entire Typhoon force. Reds 2 and 3 smoke is on now as the entire centre section make their way rearwards. As you can see now, Reds 4 and 5 are even further back in the formation, which makes it extremely difficult for them as we take all our formation references from Red 1, regardless of where you are in the formation. And being that far back, it makes it extremely difficult for them to keep an eye on Red 1, so they're working extremely hard. As we are now in Eagle formation, the smoke will come on for the Eagle present. The Eagle formation, clearly we had the Apollo space missions previously, and now we are at the Eagle landing craft, the second of our space-themed shapes. This is a nod to the fact that the Royal Air Force knows that space plays an important part in future military operations. And in fact, in 2021, UK Space Command was formed to enable us to explore those military operations in space in the future. And in 2022, Space Command reached its initial operating capability. Reds 4 and 5, the smoke comes on as they make their way forwards to sit alongside Reds 2 and 3, settled behind Red 6, with Reds 7 and 8 in trail. In May of 2023, the Royal Air Force celebrated the anniversary of Op Chastise. This was that famous mission in World War II to take out the dams in the Ruhr Valley, which of course was taken out by the world famous 617, the Dam Buster Squadron, who fly today. However, they fly the 5th generation F-35. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. Here comes the lightning roll. As the team roll to left on the far right-hand side, uppermost is Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Ollie, once again, is in his first year on the team, a former Tornado GR4 pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II. Ollie was also a member of the North Wales-based Strike Master pair, which you've seen display earlier on. His opposite number on the left-hand side is Red 5, that's Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. Second year on the team, he was Red 3 last year. He's also flown Tornado GR4 with 9 Squadron, and he also flew the Typhoon with 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coningsby. As I said, 10 pilots on the team. All the pilots must have over 1,500 fast jet hours before they can apply to join the team. They also must have 1 operational tour and be assessed as above average before they can even apply to join the team. Red 7 now moves to the left, Red 8 moves to the right in the first of our big winged shapes. This is the Cygnet.
Reversing left now. Holding the bank now. Okay.
You heard in that radio transmission, the transmissions of Red 1, he's giving the commands to the rest of the team. And you can almost be forgiven saying it was a robotic and kind of monotone way in the way he delivers those commands. And that's because we fly our formation on ear as well as eye, which means that Red 7 and 8 on the outside of that formation, as they turn right now, they're starting to put their commands into the stick a little bit earlier than the ones on the inside, as they have a larger amount of airspace to go through. This enables the whole formation to move as one rather than a ripple effect down the wing. Now you can see Red 7 and 8 sitting in trail for the rest of the formation as Red 1 brings them around to the right. For one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre that the Red Arrows fly in the display. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready as the Red Arrows ride the storm. This is the Tornado! Red 7 and 8 roll go, aboard is call as Red 7 and 8 roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings the formation around to the right. The red and the blue smoke comes on and making it even more difficult for Red 7 and 8 to roll around the rest of that formation. On the front section, you may have seen that those aircraft at the front are flying with their air brake out. That is the small door at the back of the aircraft underneath the belly. This means that the pilots are now flying with a higher throttle setting. That thereby produces a hotter engine gas temperature, which makes the smoke burn a lot more brightly. It also disturbs the airflow out the back of the aeroplane, which makes the smoke billow a lot more fuller, thereby enhancing certain manoeuvres in the display. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we come to the end of the first half, so far you have seen formation flying involving all 8 aircraft. As we go into the second half, we will now split into 2 sections. For the second half, which is a lot more dynamic, fast-paced and more heart-pumping, jaw-dropping manoeuvres carried out by the team. The front section are now Reds 1 through 5. They're now known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5 from the children's series books. And we have Reds 6, 7 and 8 now named as Hannah, named after squad leader Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, who was attributed to taking the team from a 7 to a 9, and also forming our trademark Diamond 9 shape. However, look directly to your front. Ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras ready for the start of the second half. This is the detonator! Enid braking first, followed by Hannah with red 6 off to the left, red 7 off to the right, and red 8 up over the top. You may have heard in that radio transmission a tone, and that is actually red 6 talking to red 7 and 8, giving them the command to brake. This allows him to communicate on the radio without speaking over the voice commands of red 1. We now have the synchro pair, red 6 off to the left, red 7 off to the right, led by red 6, the synchro leader. That is squadron leader James Turner, known as JT. JT is in his 4th and final year on the team, a former Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Typhoon, as well as a Hawk T Mark 1. The synchro pair now facing each other at only 100 feet above the sea. They have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They will hopefully pass in the middle of the display, passing with only 100 feet of each other. Each aircraft now performing a 4-point hesitation roll. Now each aircraft turning away from the shoreline, pulling up to 5 to 6G as they complete the manoeuvre known as Cyclone. As the synchro pair leave to our front, look directly to your right and red 8 comes in. The blue smoke comes on. Look in the distance to your far left-hand side. You can see a trail of red smoke. As Enid now put themselves into an inverted V position, red 8 lines up with the rest of the Enid as he performs the goose. Red 1 gathers the rest of Enid and brings them around to the left with the red, the white and the blue smoke on. As the aircraft pass, you might be able to see a small tank under the belly of the aircraft. It looks like a fuel tank, it's actually the smoke pod. That smoke pod produces 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke. And each colour is selectable by an individual button on the pilot's control column. During winch training, the coordination between red 1 and red 6 ensures that we have the right colour smoke in the display at the right time and that we don't run out. As the smoke comes off from me, look directly to your front. You can see the synchro pair running in with red 7 in tango position on red 6. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. This is the one you do not want to miss the opportunity to photograph and video. The smoke comes on from the synchro pair as they split and perform the synchro rolling hard. And the Red Arrows would like to dedicate today's heart to NHS organ donation on behalf of James and Holly, who recently got engaged. Keep your eyes on the left-hand side as red 8 comes in and spears the heart. Eastbourne, give Hannah Formation a massive round of applause for a wonderful heart in the bay over Eastbourne. Now keep looking to your left and to your right as the synchro pair once again at 1,000 feet left and right. They'll dive down once again to 100 feet above the sea. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They'll perform a series of barrel rolls in a maneuver called the double rolls. As Synchro pair leaves the rear, look to your far right hand side now with Enid pulling up. Red 8 joining in trail on Red 1. The red and the blue smoke comes on as they perform a series of barrel rolls through the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky. This is a manoeuvre we like to call the Python. Of course, as I said, 10 pilots on the team, but the Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. The squadron has over 140 personnel, of which 130 of them are the engineers, the technicians, the administrators, the public relations, and they are known as the Blues due to the colour of their coveralls. And there are a number of Blues today here at the public relations tent up on the showground, so please pop along and say hello. Inside those Blues, there are 10 individuals who get to fly in our aircraft when we cannot take the full engineering complement with us. One individual is Circus 10. That is Corporal Phil Dye. He is on the beach somewhere in front of us filming the display for safety and debriefing purposes. He's also responsible for many of the videos and social media pictures all across social media taken from my aircraft when we fly around the display. However, once again, look directly to your left, look directly to your right as the Synchro pair run back in with the smoke behind them running in. Each aircraft performing an aileron roll. Pull goes the call as Red 6 and 7 pull up, achieving 5 to 6 G. That means each one of them is now weighing, everything about them is weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the shoreline. They reach a height of over 2,500 feet. They're now inverted at 60 degrees nose down as they try to mirror each other in a maneuver called the Boomerang. Look to your left-hand side now in the distance, and Enid running back in with the white smoke in trail. Red 1 at the front, all the way back to Red 5 as the Red 1 brings them around to the left in the helix. As the aircraft pass, you can see the iconic shape of the Hawk Team Mark 1, being in service with the Royal Air Force since 1976. And it's been the aircraft of the Red Arrows since 1979. It can fly up to 48,000 feet. It can go supersonic in a dive, however, not something that we do these days as she is getting a little bit long in the tooth. However, she's a great aircraft to fly and is perfect for what we do in the Red Arrows. Reds 2 and 4 move to the right, Reds 3 and 5 to the left-hand side as they form up in Leaders Benefit. And of course, 2023, we celebrated the coronation of King Charles III. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready as the colour comes on for the Enid Coronation present.
Let's get back to this one.
As Enid leave, look to your right-hand side, and Hannah are already on their way back in with Red 6 smoking white. He rolls inverted. He calls for 7-8 to roll goes. Roll 7-8, roll around his smoke. Smoking blue is Red 7, Flight Lieutenant Stu Roberts. Stu is in his second year on the team. He was Red 2 last year. He's flown Typhoon with both 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coningsby. Smoking red is Red 8, Flight Lieutenant David Simmons, known as Simo. Former Tornado GR4 pilot. He also flew the Tornado GR4 roll demo in 2010. He's also flown the Harrier and the F5 while on exchange with the United States Marine Corps. As Hannah leaves to our left-hand side, look directly to your right-hand side, and Hannah running back in the white smoke in trail. 2 and 3 roll go as the command goes as Reds 2 and 3 roll around the outside of Reds 4 and 5. Clear goes the Commons. Reds 4 and 5 roll around the outside of the rest of the formation in one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots each year to master. This is the rollbacks. The motto of the Red Arrows is Eclat, which means excellence. That means we strive for excellence in everything that we do. That was from the very bottom of the squadron to the very top. However, we are aware that we are custodians of that motto for only 3 to 5 years, and therefore we try to leave the formation in a better place than where we found it. However, look directly to your front now, and you've got Hannah running back in. That's Red 6, 7 and 8 running back in. The white smoke is in trail. 7 and 8 roll go as the blue smoke comes on, and 7 and 8 roll around 6. Once again, get your cameras ready for the penultimate break for Hannah. It's the Hannah Vortex break. Once again, Red 6 off to the left, Red 7 off to the right, Red 8 up over the top. The Synchro pair, once again led by Red 6, pull up to approximately 40 degrees nose up. They'll pull up to about 1,000 feet for their final manoeuvre of the show. They will once again dive down to only 100 feet above the sea. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They will perform a series of barrel rolls and inverted flight to lead the show in a manoeuvre called the Crossbow. Look directly to your front now. In the distance, you can see Enid running back. The red smoke comes on as Red 1 rolls around the rest of the formation, leaving the infinity symbol in the sky for the infinity break. However, Eastbourne, it's been an honour, it's been a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2023 Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows! Red 1 puts his smoke on, he gathers the rest of the formation before taking the rest of the team back to Royal Air Force Odeon, where we've been operating from today. If you'd like any more information about the Red Arrows, you can look us up online.